Our coverage of the American Century Championship rolls on from the back deck at Edgewood. Mike Stephenson, Alex Margulies, Jason Kelce, first-timer here at the tournament. You said this is the first time you've actually even been to Lake Tahoe.
Never been to Tahoe, and it is gorgeous. Happy. We'll definitely be coming back, yeah.
First time walking the course today? Was that your first round?
That was my first round. First round. It's fun. Yeah, we were on carts for a lot of it, though, so I can't say I walked the whole thing. But it was in good shape, man. The grounds crew's done a great job.
How you hitting them early into retirement?
Good. I mean, off the tee, it was fantastic today. So if I can keep doing that, I'll be happy. But, yeah, I got to work on the putting game for sure.
What do you think of this whole dynamic? You've seen Little Bro here for a few years, and now you get a taste of it. This is just unbelievable, is it not?
Yeah, Trev, he's been trying to get me to come out here for like 5 or 6 years. He's been raving about the event. All the guys that show up to it, all the fans, American Century. Everyone does a great job of making this just like a top flight event. So, and that's very evident in my short time here so far.
All right, so I always ask people about the lake, like the water temp.
Yeah, baby.
And it seems like the consensus this year that people are down to jump in. You said you're for sure doing it. And you actually said, like, I think you're the first person that's ever said that the water temperature you felt in Tahoe is actually, like, ideal for you.
Yeah. No, I prefer a colder water temp for sure. I got a lot of natural layers and blubber. So, for me, I feel like that 60s range is ideal. And this is pretty darn close to that.
You said you keep your pool like that temp?
There's nothing more I like than swimming in like 60 to 65 degree water.
Chill.
It's like the perfect one.
So this is what I call Tahoe is a soul cleanse when you go in. So I want you, the first time you go in, I want you to kind of like take it all in.
All right.
Just feel the moment.
I was just going to jump in, but now I'm going to
now you're going to like take a second and just like feel it.
I'm going to make it much more spiritual.
Definitely don't ease in. I like the jump-in tactic is the right tactic. Don't ease in. You got to go full blast. Now, we are in the Wild West and, of course, the Silver State of Nevada. Do you like to partake in any of the things that Nevada brings with it, including the tables, of course?
I mean, I'll dabble, but I'm not a big gambler, but I will play, especially if everyone else is doing it. Mm-hmm. It's definitely a communal thing for me. So we'll see. We'll see what the week holds.
I've seen some crazy stuff in those tables. Like, I mean, I've seen guys like win or lose like $500,000.
It gets lit at the Harris.
Oh, I'm sure. Knowing the guys that are here, they
don't play.
No, they can get after it.
All right. Is there a guy that you have been excited to meet or are excited to meet this weekend? Maybe that's like, dang, I grew up watching that guy, or just have always wanted to meet this person?
Yeah, I met him last night, Jerome Bettis. He was my favorite player growing up. It's who I wanted to be. I wanted to be a running back, and just loved watching him play. I was born in Cleveland. I even became a makeshift Steelers fan when the Browns left to become the Ravens. Mm-hmm. So it's like sacrilegious in Cleveland. Everybody's like, "How are you a Steelers fan now?" I'm like, dude, we don't have a team anymore, man. This is my favorite player. So
when did you realize that the running back career
wasn't going to happen?
Was probably not going to happen.
Probably high school. I mean, I still ran the ball in high school.
Did you?
I did. I was I don't know, you guys familiar with the wing tee?
Yeah.
So I was a wing back.
Yeah.
And I would most of the time I was lead blocking.
Like get downhill?
Most of the time I was lead blocking, but every once in a while I'd get a jet sweep on the other side. I averaged 9.8 yards a carry, believe it or not.
Oh, my gosh.
But minimal carries, and it was only when it was wide open. They would check it, so I'd have the best looks possible. But, yeah.
Tell us about your and Travis's relationship growing up. Were you like the bossy big brother, and he was kind of the pesky little brother at any time?
Well, he was definitely the pesky little brother. There's no doubt about that. He could work it. He's always been able to finagle that with mom and dad, no question.
The baby.
Yeah. As far as bossy, I don't know, man. I think
did you intimidate him? Yeah.
Of course, yeah. I think we were the same age, so we competed in everything. Not the same age, but 2 years apart, so we were close enough. And, we played every sport imaginable, played in the backyard, went down to the local elementary school, so we were always active, even in video games. And it's like, I think it was just something that I just remember constantly having those battles, and me being older and a little bit bigger usually came out on top, which was nice. But now I can't sniff a win. So
man,
he's certainly grown up. And,
all right.
Yeah.
If you hadn't played, in the NFL, what do you think you would have done?
I have no idea. I mean, the realistic answer is I probably would end up coaching if I wouldn't have finished after college. But as far as like a job, like I don't even know if I would have went to college if it wasn't for football. That's the reality of it. I think my parents probably would have pushed me for it, but like truly finishing it, and you know, I have a hard time believing I wouldn't have gone into some trade or done something with my hands. But
your emotions were on full display at your retirement press conference. I think there's a gold jacket in your future. How has retirement been for you as it settles in?
I don't know. It's still settling in. Yeah. I think once the games start getting played, it'll be a lot more apparent on what that truly feels like. Right now, you know, it's still the off season. I'm not doing that much different. I missed OTAs, but I don't know. Doesn't feel that crazy yet. I'm sure once training camp starts, I'm not doing that. Once the games start being played, then it'll fully set in.
Yeah. All right, so you guys are playing in the early kind of T period. You've got your brother, and you also have the Miz.
Miz, baby,
is your
Cleveland's
group.
finest.
That's going to be a pretty vocal group. Like,
a lot of personality.
Is there going to be a lot of trash talk on the golf course? Like, is that part of
your
game? Are you going to be getting in people's ear? Like, what's your approach out there? Are you going to be kind of vocal, or are you just going to kind of play?
I definitely, when I'm on the course, I'm more worried about just hitting the ball straight myself than I am about trying to get in other people's heads. But whenever Trav's out there, I obviously always feel a little bit more comfortable being around him.
Yeah.
And I know how to poke his buttons. He knows how to poke mine, though, so I got to be careful. And the Miz, I mean, that guy has made a career of poking buttons. So I think it'll be a fun round. I can't wait to see what unfolds. Yeah.
Is there a side bet that you've
not yet?
Have you guys discussed anything?
Not yet. Trav gets in the night, and talked to the Miz briefly. So yeah, we'll figure something out, I'm sure.
I feel like Travis is going to be a little more popular this year than in previous years for obvious reasons. If you could just summarize the change in both of your lives since Travis got his superstar girlfriend Taylor Swift.
Yeah, sure. I think you know, obviously the demographic that is fans of both of us, but in particular Travis, has changed, and now the fan base that Taylor Swift has done an unbelievable job of building throughout her career is now been introduced to the sport of football, which, you know, I think I speak for Travis and I that we are very honored to welcome new fans into the game. I think, you know, one of the greatest joys that I've had is hearing, you know, fathers and daughters sitting down and having something to bond over now, watching football. And I think that that coming at the hands of one of the most ferociously vocal and passionate fan bases in the world has been fun. Yeah.
I gotta give a shout out to your podcast that
thanks,
you
man.
and your brother have done, because I love seeing snips of it. I think you guys have one of the most authentic shows that's out there.
Yes.
How much fun have you had being able to do this? I imagine when you started it, you didn't necessarily maybe expect the way it's taken it off.
You're one
the way
of us
that it
now.
has.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But you guys just do such a good job of just having fun with it. So as like someone in our industry, even just as a fan, like I personally enjoy it. But how much fun are you having being able to have this kind of platform just to kind of talk and talk smack and tell stories? And
yeah, I mean, it's the thing that I like most about it, especially being a player, is now all of a sudden you don't have to go through like another media member to talk to your fans and to correlate.
If there's something
what
you want to say, you can say it, right?
It's the most direct connection you can have to a viewer or a fan. And not that there's any way wrong with the other way, but you know, whenever somebody's writing an article, they're going to do it through their lens and your lens. And now this is something that's just like something very organic about our podcasting.
Agreed.
And to be able to do that with Travis, where obviously whenever I'm talking to him, I already feel comfortable.
Yeah.
And to be able to have a week where or once a week we sit down and talk, which, you know, before we did that, we go months sometimes without talking to each other. It's just the reality of it. So
helps keep the connection alive.
Yeah, man. We've talked more since doing this podcast 2 years ago than we probably did in the first 11 years combined. So it's been a lot of fun. It's really awesome that we've been able to do it together, and we just, you know, we enjoy doing it, and we're happy that people enjoy watching it.
Oh yeah, it's going to keep on growing, I can imagine. Eagles fans versus Swifties, different kind of crazy or what?
I don't know, man. Eagles fans are crazy.
I know that.
Like, I think it's
They're different.
You know, with Eagles, you have generational, you know, family ties. I still remember winning the Super Bowl, and you know, a person having an urn with them because they promised this dead relative that they'd be at the parade when the Eagles won their first Super Bowl.
Oh my God.
So like, you're dealing with generational type fandom there. But I think with what Taylor's built is just like, there's just so much, you fandom just for her. And what she's been able to accomplish as a musician, as a producer, as a songwriter, as a performer, the hats that she has worn, and the perspective and strength and what's the word? Fellowship isn't the right word, but just
community
the community that she's offered women, in particular, has been remarkable. Yeah.
That's good stuff, and you guys are a big part of that now.
No doubt.
You got to pick to win this thing over the weekend?
I don't know, man. I don't even know who's good here. Trav I'd be curious to see where his game's at. He can surprise you, especially when people are there. He has always been a gamer. He plays better when fans are there. There's something about him, and it's been that way in football. It's been that way in every sport he's ever played. He'll win the freaking karaoke contest. I mean, it's just who he is, so it wouldn't surprise me at all.
All right, I don't want to set you up, but I kind of feel like as an offensive lineman, you're probably going to get a different type of fan on 17. I imagine the beer bongs are probably going to be out.
Let's do it, baby.
They're probably going to ask you to shotgun a
beer.
Shotgun
one today.
Are you going to be okay if someone hands you a shotgun over there in 17? You game for that?
There's no doubt I'm okay with that.
Retired.
The real thing is just going to be trying to minimize it so that I can functionally golf.
You can only do one or two.
Yeah,
8 later, you might not be able to see the
ball. I got offered 12 of them today. I'm like, guys, I can't do 12 shotguns.
We got a long weekend.
We're at altitude here.
Jason, pleasure, man. Welcome to Lake Tahoe. We're glad to have you.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Thank
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Cool.
All right, lots more to come here on our special edition of NSN Tonight at the American Century Championship next.